Evening, everyone. I am so happy for our parent and our community members from our staff that are able to join us today. Hopefully, some others will be able to join us. If not, I'm definitely going to be able to send this out via Parent Square, but welcome to another meeting. This is our November 21st meeting for the class of 2026, and we are just going to have a really quick family briefing to keep us all up to date. Families, the mics and the cameras have been deactivated for our guests until the end. So if you have a question during our conversation, please be sure to put it in our chat and I will answer them as they come and or at the very end of our conversation. All right, our agenda, we're going to have some reminders, some updates. We're going to be talking about our attendance incentive and just making sure that we're all aware of our graduation requirements. As always, we start every meeting here at Ballou with our mission and our vision. Our mission is to nurture students' growth in a safe, supportive, and inclusive environment. Our challenging, diverse, and engaging learning experiences inspire curiosity, build confidence, and prepare students for success. Our vision, we envision a school where strong relationships, technology, and open access to culturally relevant opportunities fuel our students' success. Parents, we're in November. This is term 2, trying to make sure that all of our students are prepared for the next step. So thank you so much for supporting us. Considering our support, grades and attendance mean everything. Next week is a very short week. We have school on Monday and Tuesday. Those 2 days count. Please make sure that your students are at Ballou on time for their 9 a.m. first period class. Please ensure that they stay all day to enjoy some of the festivities that we'll have for students and an activity that we have to support our arts program, so students will have access to view our play from some of their classmates. So please make sure that they're at school next week on Monday and Tuesday. If you have attendance needs, questions, or concerns, our attendance counselor is Ms. Walker. Her email is located on the screen. Please make sure that if your student is absent, that you are sending in their attendance notes so that she is able to excuse those when they're excusable and support your family with making sure that your student is present at school every day. Grades, super important. We have grades and our grades go in every payday Friday. This week is a bye week in terms of us getting a check. However, last week your students should have received an update of what is happening in their classes. So every other week when the teachers get paid, your student should be being paid with their materials. So if your student has been absent, they should have the opportunity to make up and recover work. If your student needs support around a particular skill or course content, they should also be able to receive support during our Payday Fridays. So every Payday Friday, teachers are to give your students progress reports from their Aspen gradebook so that they know what progress they're making in their courses and that you can stay abreast of what's happening in our students' classes. If you have questions about your student's transcript, please reach out to Miss Sally Leroy. If you have questions about a specific class, please reach out to that specific teacher. All right, we got an incentive coming up for our students and their attendance. We want to see your kids in first period. We want to see them stay all day until fourth period. So our incentive is around students showing up on time and staying in their fourth period class. They're going to receive some awesome prizes for doing so. So we have a lunch pass, we have a raffle entry, and we have a feature on Instagram because the kids love Instagram. So we'll have a feature for them. This is also an opportunity for students to earn off-campus lunch. There are some caveats to our off-campus lunch situation. Students must be at 80% or better for their attendance. There are no D's allowed for students to have off-campus lunch, and we're asking that students complete their FAFSAs in order to receive off-campus lunch. I would love for our off-campus lunch program to start on December 1st, but your student has to be eligible by having those 3 requirements met. As a portion of that, we are also asking that your student comes to school in uniform. It'll be a slide further in, but we have graduation requirements that your students are also responsible for. There are 24 credits that your student needs to have in specific classes in order to earn their high school diploma from DCPS. Please make sure if you have questions about that, you reach out to Ms. Sally Leroy, who is our 12th grade school professional counselor. Additionally, students must have 100 community service hours. Today, Mr. Thomas took our kids to the Salvation Army, and it was about 44 students that had opportunity to go and earn a quick 6 hours for their service learning. Please make sure that we are supporting our students with all the portions of their graduation requirement. There is a limited amount of time for us to actually be ready to go. We're asking that students have their community service hours completed by January 23rd, which is, excuse me, the end of our first semester. The goal is to be grad ready in January. I know it's a lofty goal. I would like to be able to look at your students' transcripts and say, oh, this is awesome. We just have these last few classes. And when we get to June, your student will be ready to walk the stage. What does that mean? I would like for them to have their 100 community service hours as soon as possible. Some of our students haven't had the opportunity to earn any hours, and we have several trips that are coming up in the coming weeks and especially in the coming days. Please make sure your student checks in with Ms. Sally Leroy, Mr. Thomas, Dean Scott, and also our Pathways Coordinator, Mr. Larson, as it relates to students having their community service hours. They will not graduate if they do not have 100 community service hours. All right. Our 2K26 students wear their student uniforms starting on December 1st. Students will be earning merits and demerits for not having on their school uniform. I will have a bin on Tuesday, November 25th, for those students to receive some of our swag so that they'll have Balloon Nights gear on. Students are able to wear a navy blue polo, anything that has blue on it. So our cute little sweatshirts, our t-shirts, our things from being participants in different programs, different sports. They can wear those items as a part of the uniform, and they should have on khakis. That's Monday through Thursday. Friday is our dress down day, and students are able to bring in their uniforms if there's a need for them to be laundered. We do have a washing machine and dryer at the school, so they're able to bring those things in. Again, on Tuesday, I'll be providing our students who do not have school appropriate swag with at least a shirt. And for those who did not receive our sweatshirt last year, I'll be able to provide some of them size permitting with their sweatshirt for our grade level. That is next Tuesday, but on December 1st, our uniforms will be enforced. So if there is a need for anything additional, please reach out. My contact information will be on the very last slide so that your student has on the appropriate clothing. And that begins on December 1st. I'm sure it's been all the buzz, but your students also cannot sell anything at the school. So please have them come and check in with me to get the parameters around us being able to sell items at school. They cannot sell anything without getting permission first. There was some incidents that have taken place across DCPS at other schools around students selling food items, apparel, selling body care items, just an assortment of things. And I have to have those things verified first. The class of 2026 will not be the reason why Baloo is on the news for things being sold at school. So I would like for your student to gather permission first before bringing anything. Students who bring in unauthorized materials to school, those things will be held until 3:30. If it's, oh, but my kid has to go to work at 2 o'clock, or, my student is finished at second period, Those items will be held until 3:30 when our culture and climate team members are releasing our cell phones for the larger population of students. Students will not have their materials returned to them before the end of the school day. So please do not allow them to bring those things to school if they do not have prior permission. All right. Last but definitely not least, in terms of our quick reminders, our student dues are due. What does that mean? Seniors have dues to pay so that their items can be ordered. Our deadline is January 9th. That is a very quick turnaround. It is coming fast. I feel like we're going to go to sleep and wake up and it's going to be January, especially since we're a week away from Thanksgiving. So as we get into the holiday season, I know that we have a lot of other things that we're responsible for, but this opportunity to pay our student dues has been up and running since the very beginning of school. Please make sure that your student pays their dues by January 9th. After January 9th, items that students are requesting or asking for, those things become things that are purchased a la carte. Being that we need to be able to order our caps and gowns, our diploma covers, and our class t-shirts, and those items cost. And we're trying to catch the last minute 25 prices before it becomes 2026 tariff priced. So please make sure that your students are turning in their dues and starting to make those payments. The final payment is January 9th. They need to see Miss Talavera. She is in our main office. Students can bring in their payments in cash or money orders before school, during lunch, and after school. The reason being, Miss Talavera takes said money and provides your student with a receipt. Once the monies have been received, our DSL, MSL, our business manager takes said money to the bank. If you have already paid for something, say our senior trip, which is what's coming up next, and you wish to have a refund, those things have to come back in check form because the cash has been taken to the bank and our staff doesn't have an ATM card to the bank for our school. Senior prom, it has been set. We have paid the deposit. We are looking for volunteers / support in terms of making the last payment. So if you have or know someone that's like a decorator or somebody who does those things, it would be really great if you tap in with Miss Hill, who is our prom POC, so we can start the process of getting organized around our decorating, our decor, the DJ, and all those great things to make prom a wonderful night for our students. Our prom will be at the Embassy Suites by Hilton, Washington, D.C., near the Convention Center. It will be on May 15th. The time is from 8 to 12, and our theme is A Night in Dubai. Senior trip. So a lot happening with our senior trip. Our senior trip has been confirmed. We are able to go to Puerto Rico. However, we are awaiting DCPS and their final approval. We submitted the trip underneath it being a domestic trip because Puerto Rico is a part of the United States. The folks at Central Office came back and said it's an international trip. And then we got confused because Puerto Rico is a part of the United States and it's not international, but we're going to wait patiently for them to give us our final say. So I know I've had some parents reach out about making the payment and the date being too far gone, and then with the students still wanting to participate. We are not too far gone. I have to wait for DCPS to submit any other funds to the actual vendors or anyone else. So we still have time. I will probably have a better update in December when we have our next meeting. Senior portraits, we have retakes coming up. I'm not sure if Mr. Thomas is available to speak. Probably not. All right.
I am.
Okay.
Um, hello, family. How y'all doing? Happy Friday evening. Senior Portraits is coming up. I'm trying to multitask, guys. But the retake will be this January the 23rd, 2026. That's the only day that Life Touch had available for us for retakes. And so for this retake, there is for students who did not have the opportunity to take the photos in the beginning of the year. And is also for those who wish to retake because they were not satisfied with the ones that they have taken. These retakes are yearbook headshots only. In regards to the personality photos that the seniors are talking about, we was looking at February, but I'm checking with their digitals to see if they're available for this date. I will have an answer by Monday. So on our next meeting, I will confirm if that date is available for personalities, tuxedo and drape pictures for the seniors. Please, if that is available on that day, which I don't believe will be a problem, there may be a sitting fee for those photos for the personalities and the drapes and tuxedo shots. All right. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email, call me on the phone, or whatever, and I'll gladly be available to assist. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas also serves as our grade level sponsor. So all great things come from Mr. Thomas. And most of our information also comes from Mr. Thomas. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Moving forward, if you have not, on our Instagram page is our senior calendar. Please be sure to look at our senior calendar. We have a lot of great things in our senior calendar, and we keep it up to date. And then some things that are kind of like moving dates, they are also updated inside of our senior calendar. So we are in the month of November. One of our service learning events on the 14th was canceled, but today we were able to go to the Salvation Army. Again, we had 44 kids that were able to go and get 6 hours. This evening, we're having our family meeting, and tomorrow there's a parent university. Please click into our senior calendar so that you're able to access the information for our parent university. This is being offered not by Baloo, but being offered by another entity, and it takes place tomorrow. That is our family engagement event for the month of November. Please make sure that you click into our calendar. Next week, again, next week on Sunday. Well, no, that's not next week. This Sunday, we have another opportunity to go to the DC Food Kitchen from 2 to 4. Dean Scott is our lead on that, and he's supporting our students with getting community service hours. On Monday and Tuesday, our students should be in school. On Tuesday, we will have our career application day and our 2K26 opportunity for our kids to have their fun fall festival. So please make sure your student is present. Moving into the month of December, you're going to see a lot of community service opportunities for students. We're asking that if your student doesn't have any hours, that they make Miss Sally Leroy, Mr. Thomas, Mr. Scott, Mr. Larson, Dr. Ruffin aware of the fact that they do not have hours so that they can get in on the field trips to start building in some of their community service hours. So you need to let those people know so that they know to continue to kind of reach out to your student so that they can earn their community service hours prior to us getting to the end of the year. Because they have to have the 100 hours. All right, on Tuesday, super excited. It is our 2K26 day, and we are going to have the experience of fall. One of our teachers is leading this, Miss Scott is our lead on this, and she's asked her students to sign up so that they can be a part of the various rooms. We have rooms that range from a silent disco, we have a karaoke room, and there are a variety of things that we're putting in place to support our students. So on Tuesday, November 25th, during our third period block, students will have a chance to sign up and participate and have enjoyment of the afternoon. They'll have food and they'll be able to have a really good time in all the various rooms. And there will be space for your student to recover some of their work. So we will have a work room where students can recover some of their grades prior to enjoying the Thanksgiving break. All right, our next meetings, Friday, December 19th, it will be via Teams. In January, we will have an opportunity to meet again in person, and that's on January 23rd of 2026, and it will be at 5 p.m. at Baloo. The information will come via Parent Square, and it'll also come via Instagram, and If you would like to attend, please make sure that you are telling your students are telling you about all the things. But if you need additional information prior to attending so that I have answers for you during the meeting, please shoot me an email, a text message, give me a phone call, so that I can gather that information. Again, our next meetings are Friday, December 19th, via Teams, and then on Friday, January 23rd, 2026, in person at Baloo. All right, this is our mission. We're trying to get to June 2026 and beyond. If you haven't already, please follow us on Instagram. It is where pictures and information and all great things about your students go up. So if you haven't had a chance to look at it, you'll get to see your kids while they're at school during the day. And then you'll also be able to see a lot of our updates as it comes from within in terms of like upcoming meetings and just general information for your students. And that's where we'll field all of that information so that it's something that both you and your student are able to access. My contact information is on the screen. My email address is brandy.bird@k12.dc.gov. Brandy with an I, Bird with the Y. My phone number is 202-794-2648. If you need to contact me between now and our next meeting, that is how you contact us. Outside of that, I'm going to take our mics off and see if we have any questions. And if there aren't any questions, we will transition into just kind of like supporting people until maybe 5:35. Any questions, comments, or concerns?